Nick moves from Minnesota to New Jersey to live in West Egg, across the bay from East Egg, where his cousin Daisy and Tom Buchanan live. East Egg is the more established and wealthy people, while West Egg is the more unfashionable, newly rich citizens. Jay Gatsby is Nick's neighbor in West Egg, who is mysteriously rich and constantly throws large, lavish parties. Nick drives to East Egg to visit his cousin Daisy and her husband Tom, and he also meets Daisy's famous golfer friend Jordan Baker. The group has dinner together, and Tom's arrogant, hypocritical personality is revealed. After dinner, Daisy mentions her daughter Pammy to Nick, which oddly enough is the only time she's mentioned throughout the entire novel. Dr. T.J. Eckelberg's billboard looms over the desolate valley of ashes along over West Egg and East Egg, watching people's every move. Tom decides to take Nick to the city, but first he picks up his mistress Myrtle so she can meet his wife's cousin. Smart, right? The three go into New York City to Tom's apartment he keeps for his affairs. After listening to Tom and Myrtle bang for a while, more people arrive for the party where everyone gets very drunk. Myrtle then believes it's a good idea to start talking about Daisy and chanting her name until Tom puts an end to it by breaking her nose, which abruptly breaks up the party. Gatsby's chauffeur brings Nick an invitation to one of his lavish parties. Nick arrives at the party and runs into Jordan, and while most guests are speculating on how Gatsby gained his wealth, Nick and Jordan set off to find their mysterious host. After sitting with Gatsby at a table and discussing how him and Nick knew one another from war, Gatsby's butler later comes to tell Jordan that Gatsby would like to speak with her in private, and Jordan goes to speak with him. A few days later, Nick runs into Jordan, and she finally tells him the details of her conversation with Gatsby. Jordan tells Nick that Gatsby and Daisy used to be lovers during the war. Gatsby moved to West Egg so he could be closer to Daisy, and he now wishes that Nick will invite her over to tea so Gatsby can see her again. When Daisy arrives, her reunion with Mr. Gatsby is terribly awkward, but once Nick leaves, Gatsby and Daisy begin talking, and Nick returns to find them very happy. Gatsby invites Daisy over to see his possessions, but we all know what that really means. So as a recap, Gatsby is in love with Daisy, who is married to Tom, who is having an affair with Myrtle, who is married to George. Gatsby stops throwing parties and fires all of his servants since he was only doing it all to impress Daisy. Nick hasn't seen either Gatsby or Daisy in weeks and goes to East Egg only to find Gatsby and Jordan already at Daisy and Tom's home. As the group complains of boredom and Gatsby and Daisy make their love for each other known, Tom becomes certain of the affair at hand. As if things aren't awkward enough, Tom decides that the group should go spend the day at the Plaza Hotel in New York City. Gatsby tells Tom that Daisy doesn't really love him, which causes Tom to reveal that Gatsby is a bootlegger, which will make it easier to drink it off when Daisy refuses to profess her love for him. Tom makes Daisy ride home with Gatsby to let that all sink in. That night, Myrtle is hit by a car and killed. Gatsby reveals that it was Daisy driving the car, but as a fool in love, Gatsby takes all the blame for killing Myrtle. Tom tells Myrtle's husband George that Gatsby was the one who killed his wife. To rationally settle things, George goes to Gatsby's house and kills him, and then kills himself. Nick arranges the funeral for Gatsby, but nobody attends. Disillusioned by all the people and events, Nick leaves West Egg and moves back to the Midwest.